from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time, bakers, to get ready. On your marks, get set. What do they say? Your marks, get set, bake. Countdown to baking. I don't know what they say, but I know you're welcome here. Welcome to Sleep With Me, the podcast that's here to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff so you can fall asleep. This is a podcast that's here to be your friend in the deep dark night, your goofy friend to talk, giving you the most meandering and incomprehensible recap of episode of Great British Bake Off for your pleasure, your sleeping pleasure, or your chilling pleasure, so that you could drift off into dreamland. It'll probably take me forever to get started. That's the plan, as usual. But I'm really glad you're here. If you're new to the show, welcome. This is a very different podcast. It's a friendly podcast. And I'm here to apply, I'm not, you don't have to be my friend. That's the great news. I'm only here to, present myself as an applicant to be a friend that you don't need to listen to, a friend that's only here to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff so you could fall asleep. So I think that's a pretty decent offer, though you may want to think about it. Most people, it takes 2 or 3 tries to get used to the show. If you're having trouble sleeping, I want to meet you where you are because I've been there. I was there last night, and I know what it feels like for me. And if it's like that at all for you, or you're tired during the day or whatever, I really want to help if I can. That's what I'm here to do, is help you out. And it is a kind of thing where you say, okay, this may work for me, may not. Just give it a try and see how it goes. But if you're new, I really appreciate you checking the show out and seeing how it goes. And regular listeners, holy moly, am I glad to be here with you. Really is my honor to try to help out because, it's never easy getting sleep. It's not an easy time to get, right now we're here together, right? So we're here. That's what's really important. So anyway, I'm glad you're here. And if you're new or a regular listener, you need a reminder. What we got coming up is support. So paying for the podcast is optional. Then a long meandering intro meant to ease you into bedtime. Not so much to put you to sleep, but to kind of slowly turn the volume down on the day. And then later on will be a bedtime story. So I'm really glad you're here. And I work really hard, and we're able to do this when I'm recording this, never more so than the people that actually opt in. We will, those people, if this show is a part of your life and you opt in during, you just say, I want to support the show directly, or I want to support the sponsors, or I want to spread the word about the podcast. Those are the people we're here because of. And I know a lot of people just rather kind of listen to this ad-supported version passively. But I just want to remind you, active people, you active listeners, that this show is a part of your life, that you're a part of the life of the show. And I want to thank you because now more than ever, I couldn't do it without you. And we're like, everybody's grateful because so many people get to benefit from this podcast. So thanks so much. And if you say, wait a second, I want to opt in. This podcast makes my life so much better. Here's a couple of ways you could do it. Sleep With Me podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this episode today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots. I'm talking about tonight's sponsor, Helix Sleep. And if you don't have a Helix mattress in your life, you got to think about taking the quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. I've been sleeping in my Helix probably longer than you've been listening to this podcast. And I love my bed so much. I have a move coming up, and I'm trying to decide because I have to move in a couple different stages just due to things outside of my control. And I know I'm going to be in my apartment, but most of my stuff's going to be gone. And I'm like, should I I keep my Helix there and then buy another Helix for my next destination? Or should I pay to have that Helix moved, but I don't want to be without it? Because I don't think I'll be able to sleep without it, because I love sleeping in my Helix. And I know it'll be super easy if I take the Helix quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. Maybe my needs and feel preferences have changed. So I could see what my options are. I could choose between a Luxe mattress, a Helix Elite, or just, whatever comes up in my search. I know I'll have choices. So the question is, do you have that kind of relationship with your mattress that you don't want to be without it? Because if you don't, what are you waiting for, right? You could have a Helix shipped straight to your door free of charge and get testing it out. But the first thing you need to do is just take that quiz, because Helix has you and your needs in mind, your feel preferences. How do you like to sleep? How does your partner like to sleep? So it is time for you to get a new bed. Because trust me, this summer, I do not want to be without my Helix mattress. And Helix has got an amazing deal lined up for you. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 20% off site-wide during their summer sale from June 2nd through June 12th. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for 20% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots, and this is a message for anybody that wants to support the show, but you're not in a position to do it financially. You're a super listener, or you want free access to Sleep With Me Plus. You want to be a part of our Snore Squad, our Boar Bunch. I'm thinking of other terms. If you want to be a part of that, be a part of the Boar Bunch, sign up for our referral program, sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. If you can't support the show financially, please consider right now signing up for the referral program and then getting some referrals. You'll get access to Sleep With Me Plus for free just by referring people to the free podcast, and you'll be helping the show out. It would be way better if you join the referral program and help the show out through the referral program than say, you know what, Scoots, maybe one day I'll support the podcast financially. I could use your help as a Boar Squad, Snooze Squad, Boar Bunch right now. And, we're doing fun stuff on there. You could get free access to Sleep With Me Plus. So if we have to make any changes with the free show, you got access to the paid version of the show. And all you had to do is put a little love and time into it. So if you love the podcast, but you can't support it on Sleep With Me Plus, don't put off supporting the show. Support it right now at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. And I can't tell you how powerful that is. Like you being involved right now in the future of the podcast versus, one day I'll support the show financially. I could use your help right now at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, REFER. Thanks. Oh, Mystery Bard. A lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Posterson sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound or on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at JonathanMann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. And don't forget, the most comfortable way to listen to Sleep With Me is with sleep phones. You can get Sleep With Me merch, Sleep With Me branded sleep phones at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones. And use Sleep With Me at checkout to get $5 off your order. The only way you can get the Sleep With Me merch editions is sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones. Thanks, everybody. What do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble, getting to sleep, trouble, staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. all you need to do, or all you could do, is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake. It could be thoughts on your mind, things you're thinking about, thoughts about the past, the present, the future, things you're, thoughts. It could be feelings, anything coming up for you emotionally. Could be physical sensations, changes in time, temperature, routine. Could be going through something. Maybe you work a different schedule. Right now, I'm finishing this. I'm recording this episode right after the time change and some travel. So, man, my sleep has been impacted. But I'm here to make that a soft thing, whatever's keeping you awake. And the only reason I go through some of that stuff is because you're not alone. And I know this is a podcast. I know you could say it's pseudo or whatever. But the thing is, whatever it is that's keeping you awake, I think I can relate to how it feels. But even if I can't, there is someone out there listening right now, somewhere in the world, that can really relate to how you feel. That's a regular listener of the show. And they are rooting for you. They're saying, holy cow, I really hope this podcast can help you out like it helped me out, because I've been there. I know what that's like. And all I hope for you is that you get a good night's sleep, and maybe one day you're the one rooting for the new listener. You're important. And the other reason is that you deserve a good night's sleep. You deserve a bedtime where you could get the rest you need so your life is more manageable. Like where you don't have to dread bedtime. So that's why I make the show. I've been there. I know what it's like for me. And I can kind of relate to maybe what it's like for you. And I know you deserve, like, you want to live your life, right? And you want to get the rest you need without having all that stuff, right? At least some of the time. That's been my experience. So that's why I make the show. The way the show works is I send my voice across the deep, dark night. I use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents, which means I go off topic, I get mixed up, then I forget what I was talking about, then I repeat myself. Then I'm like, wait, what? Like, I used filler words, kind of, or not kind of. I definitely use filler words. Fill her up with filler words. If I had a station, that's what you'd say, come on in. Well, I guess I would go to the station, right? They'd say, how you doing, Scoots? Well, believe it or not, then they just laugh because they know you don't need any filler words, Scoots. You got plenty. Well, I'm running low. Really? Well, we'll fill her up with filler words, just like you say, but I think you're covered. You see, and I'd be like, wait a second, I'm covered in filler words? How come nobody told me? And then they would laugh again. I said, well, let me look in the mirror. I got filler words on my back, or am I stuck on my hair? I got filler words in my nose. They said, no, we're speaking, I don't know, figuratively, I have no idea. Well, I thought you said I was covered in filler words. That's pretty specific, actually. That's a great idea, though. For if I ever started making my own outfits for the show, I could wear like a what are those called? I already have one, so I don't need another. I don't actually have a Snuggie. I have like a puffy blanket that I like, that can be made. It can snaps and it has a hood. So I guess I could add filler words to that. Bespoke. I could have a bespoke. One. So now actually, you're right. I am covered in filler words. Those are called bumper stickers. They say, not a popular bumper sticker. So I got them on sale. So those bumper stickers never sold, eh? So, what was I saying? Fill up with filler words. Those are pointless meanders and superfluous tangents. All of it's to create a podcast that you don't really need to listen to, but you could listen to it. And that takes some time to get used to, particularly if you found your way to the show. You're like, wait, it's like background noise that I could listen to, like a TV on in the other room or something. I say, yeah, it's kind of like that. Like, there you go. That wasn't even gratuitous filler words, or those were organically gratuitous filler words. I may hear from the council, the council against filler words. Holy cow, council against CAFW? Is that council against filler words? CAFW? Or, like, what about, like, cousins against filler words? That would be the same. Council against, so it'd be the same initials. I'm here on behalf of the cousins against, we're your cousins that are against filler words. Whoops. The last one was on purpose, but the other one was natural. Okay, so, it takes some getting used to for the show, because if you found the show through a search or a recommendation, and then you started listening, you probably had some idea of what a sleep podcast might be like, right? And this show kind of defies expectation in a way that's great for some people and not so great for others. So it just takes like a couple tries to get used to, because of course you're skeptical or doubtful. You're tired. If you're like me, when I'm tired, I'm grouchy. So if you're in any of that if you're feeling that way, that's okay. I'm glad you're here. And just give the show a few tries and see how it goes. Now, if you discover you don't like me or the podcast, that's fine too. Like you gave it a few tries and you said, no, not for me. I said, okay, well, I got a website set up, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. And that has other sleep podcasts and sleepy stuff on there that you could check out. So, because you still deserve a good night's sleep. So it's a podcast you don't really listen to, take some getting used to. It's also a sleep podcast that isn't made to put you to sleep. There's no pressure to fall asleep with this show. That's the reason the episodes are over an hour, is so you don't have to think about when you're going to fall asleep. Like, I'm going to be here to the very end of the show, whether you're awake or asleep, because there's people listening who can't sleep at all or who need a break during the day. So this is a sleep podcast that's here to keep you company while you fall asleep versus putting you to sleep directly. It's just a mild distraction. Like, my job is not to be some guru or some instructor or anything. It's just to be your friend, your boar friend, your boar bay, your boar sib, your boar bud, your neighbor, your boar bee, your boars borloff, your best boar friend forever, your boar sib, your boar cuz, your boar bruh. I'm here to keep you company while you drift off, which is a very different role. So see how it goes if you're new or regular listener. What's up? How do you like it? How do you feel about me being your Boris Borloff? I don't know. You say, okay, I don't know. I don't know what that is. I say, great. We're already on the same page. So that's a couple things you need to know. The other thing I like to talk about is the structure of the show. The show's structured in a very specific way to benefit the most amount of people it can. It is adjustable, and there are other versions of the podcast. So let me just explain it, because when people get here first, they may get confused, right? Or I just want to give you some reassurance in case you say, I don't know about that part. So the show starts off with a greeting. Almost everything we do, or I think everything we do, just starts off with a greeting. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So you feel seen and welcomed in, and you say, okay, I can check that part out. This show sounds friendly. And a lot of times they say something silly or goofy. You say, okay, I get it. It's like supposed to be lighthearted. So that's the first part of the show. Then there's sponsor support, so that paying for the show is optional. If you prefer something without sponsors, you can get that You get that on Sleep With Me Plus or some of the platforms where you listen to the show. But most people like this free ad-supported version, and they listen to it linearly. Some people set a sleep timer in their podcast app. Some people don't. So after the support, though, is a long, meandering intro, totally separate from the support. It's a show within a show. Usually goes about 15 to 20 minutes long, where I explain what the podcast is. But instead of me just introducing the podcast, I tend to go off topic. And I follow a similar structure every time, but I go on different tangents every time so that it's familiar, but it's also different every time, because I think that's just one of the parts of the things, the parts of me that keep me awake. They like something that's unique every time. They don't want something predictable. They want something reassuring and familiar, but not predictable. I mean, kind of like a movie or something like, you go to a movie, you want something that in a genre you like, but that's, so it's not that different an idea, except that this is meant to put you to sleep and be barely listened to. So that's why the intro is different every time. Why does it take 15 to 20 minutes for you to explain what a podcast is? They say, well, great question. This really is a good question. Well, there's also another purpose to the intro. One, I really struggle to get to the point, but the reason it takes 15 to 20 minutes long is to ease you into bedtime so that you could listen while you're winding down or getting ready for bed or getting comfortable or you're doing some other chill activity. Like the intro is not meant to put you to sleep. It's a small percentage of people fall asleep, but most people it's like a buffer between being awake and asleep. Now, if you decide you want a show without intros, we have that version of the podcast out there, ad supported as well. So you don't have to pay for it if you don't want to. And that's called Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. So you could check that out if you just want the stories from the show, or if you want even more variety. But most people like the intro and like getting eased into bedtime, so much so that people support the show to get all intro episodes like twice a month. But if you're new, you'll kind of just test and see what happens. But again, we really put a lot of thought into this. So then after the intro support, and then after the support tonight, we'll be covering an episode of the Great British Bake Off. All told, we'll be here about an hour. And I think that's it. I'm really glad you're here. I really work hard. I yearn and I strive. I appreciate you coming by. So do a bunch of other people that work on this show. We just really want to help you out because a lot of us have been there and we know what it's like. And you really do deserve a good night's sleep. So I'm glad you're here once again. And if you decide that this show will be a part of your regular routine, a part of your life, and it improves your life so much that you feel something, you can give it back to the show. In fact, we could use it. So you could support the show back directly or support our sponsors or spread the word about the show. That costs you nothing, So, yeah, it's those of you that feel so much and get so much out of the show that we also count on, too. You count on us, we count on you. And it's a beautiful thing because then all these other people get to benefit as well. People that aren't in a position to support the show or that kind of just want to passively be there. That's okay too. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you coming by. And if you decide you want to be a part of something special like this, here's a couple ways you could do it. All right, everybody, we're talking about tonight's sponsor, Quince. And I don't know how you like to spend your nights, but I got to ask you about your bedding and your sheets, right? How do you feel about them? Because Quince has options for you. They've got buttery soft sheets like the ones I got for my daughter to take to college. They have those crisp percale sheets. And now I'm looking at the hype of the Quince European linen. And I'm thinking, Scoots, It might be time to up your sheet game even more. Quince European linen sheets are light, breathable, and super soft with that perfectly lived-in vibe. Woven from 100% European flax linen, they have that heirloom quality that gets softer with each wash. And as I said, the same thing goes for their ultra plush duvets, quilts, pillows, and shams too. Quince has everything you need to level up your bed. But I didn't even get to the best part. Just like Quince's clothing, their bedding is half the cost of similar brands. By partnering with top artisans, Quince cuts out the cost to the middle person and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Now, like I said, I have the Quince Percal gingham bedding right now in my bed, but wow. This European flax linen really sounds nice for summertime. And I already, in my shopping cart on Quince, I have a black short sleeve linen shirt. So I might as well add the bedding to it. Let your bed match the season with cool, relaxed bedding from Quince. Go to quince.com/sleep to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince. QUINCE.com/sleep to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody. Scoots here. We're talking about the Great British Baking Show, Baking You Off to Sleep show. Week 6. It's a Japanese week. Collection 8, episode 6. And it opens with Noel dressed as a character, like they say, who is that? And it doesn't look like the character I'm thinking of right now, but I'm doing my first retro playthrough of a game called Chrono something, which is a role-playing, anyway, it's an old role-playing video game. And the character's hair is a little bit similar, but it's reddish in Chrono, though I renamed Chrono. I can't remember who if I gave Chrono my name. There's a lot of Scoots because I couldn't figure out how to use capital letters, so there's Scots and Scoots also. But Noel is not Chrono or Scots. He's got so he's wearing a paper mache outfit. I don't know, helmet with very blue eyes. But then Matt comes and he's wearing a mango. He says, "Did you say dress like manga?" And he says, "No, manga, mango." And so he's dressed like a mango, Matt the Mango Man. And he says, "Old Mango Head." So it's pretty funny opening, just because, especially if you didn't know what the joke was, which I didn't. He said, "Wait a second, Matt's." He almost looked like somebody from like some sort of interesting comedic group. Okay, then we do the talking heads. Rain walk in. There's mist. Coats are on. Excited. Matt's shirt got an exclamation point. First time ever they're doing Japanese week on the show. So that's good, right? Like you say, okay, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, a couple of people have umbrellas when they come in. The coats are coming off. It's Japanese week. Who would have thought Mark with a K is excited. One of the guys whose names I forget is excited. Blottie's saying, "You're on a pretty level playing field." So that's getting to me. Noel's got a really nice sweater. Oh, Matt has a nice shirt. I just like the color. I like the shirt on him. It's a plum. I think he's wearing a plum-colored shirt. It's a print shirt. But I liked it. Not my colors, but it looks good on Matt. Okay, so they're supposed to do 8 soft Japanese buns, sweet or savory. 2 different versions, though. And so 2 different soft Japanese buns, 2 hours and 30 minutes. On your mark, get set, bake. steamed buns, sorry. So everybody's in Peru. Peru's got matching. Holy moly, Peru! What was that timing? Let's just go. Let's just pause it for a second. For pause on Peru, can we, producer? Sure, I can do that. Probably take me 2 or 3 tries. Okay, so we have Peru talking. She has on a, I don't know what fuchsia is, but she looks spectacular. And she's in the wind, and her hair even looks good. But so she has on a winterish coat. That's not magenta either, like a version of pink, a really nice pink. Then her lips, her earrings, and her glasses, they don't match the exact shade of coat, but they're like they're all in the reddish pink spectrum. And I mean, even on pause, it works. Then she has on a scarf that has 3 different three different kinds of pink in it. And usually you'd say it'd be, at least in my opinion, like I'd say it would be jarring. But even though her glasses, I think, are red, her frames, can't tell if her earrings are, I think her earrings are pink. It just works. And she looks very snuggled in, so that's a bonus. Okay, so they say surprise us with the fillings. We don't want regular fillings. Paul says, yeah, it must taste good. And the bread better be good, too. Soft, chewy roll, but not too chewy. Paul also has a nice coat on. Delicious inside, but this is a bun challenge. Dave, that's the guy's name. He's putting turmeric to change the color of his dough. And everybody's making character buns. Katsu curry buns are his. And they're kind of going to look like cartoon chickens. Matt makes a joke about it. And some people are doing their cooking in the bun, steaming everything. So he's doing it. I think Lottie later's doing it. Good luck, Dave. Did I say his name's Dave? He's not the only one making character-based buns. Character-based buns, CBBs. Hermine's, that's Laura. She's making piggy buns. Quite a fun challenge. She's excited. Peter's making wee lambs, and he's steaming in the bun too, cooking in the bun. Soy sauce, fish sauce, honey cumin. Oh boy, I like that. I'm not a fan of, mince. So cabbage, spring onions, stir fry almost. How are you going to infuse the flavor in? Well, I'm going to stir fry off the aromatics first. Then I'm going to mix it through. Soy sauce and fish sauce. And then, I'm going to split my dough in 2. Some, so I can do the right colors for each one. Wee shapes. He likes saying wee. They're going to look quite cute, he says. Okay, everybody's doing their window pane tests, which I've still never been able to do, even though I make my own bread and pizza dough. Got to prove it, man. If it's unproven, underproved, it'll split. Hermine wants double size. You don't want it to collapse and be flat. Domed, shiny buns. Dave's hoping for a triple in size. And then it's filling making time. And everybody's taking their inspiration from different places. Japanese bun, but Laura's doing a Chinese flavored pork. She's going to cook and then put it in the bun. Because she's like, I don't think mine would work steaming it. So she's doing 8 little piggies, go to market. Sticky sauce, caramelized hoisin, oyster, and a bit of honey. Ticks all the boxes, Paul says, all the flavor. And this is the one she says she's practiced it, so she's confident. Then Mark's doing some flavors from India. He's made some curries for his daughter, Jasmine. And she had made this dal, and he's like, it was really good. So he's like, dal steamed bun. After they had his daughter's dal, and they said, it's good. Smoked paprika, onion, apple, lentil, mango chutney. Sounds lovely, they say. Just got to make sure I get them right folded, right? And they laugh they say, good luck, Mark. And that's Mark with a C. This is Mark with a K. He and Lottie are doing cheeseburger buns, which you can get those. They're different, I think. But that's one of our favorite things to get at in Avatar Land. Well, though it was one of our favorite things. But then the noodle bowls are so good there. So Mark's got mince, onion, and gherkins. Paul doesn't eat gherkins, though. And, which are pickles, I guess, apparently. So so he says, okay, better do one without gherkins then. Like, Paul's so strong. And I said, man, I don't know, man, you may be missing out. Maybe you're just not a sweet gherkins guy like me. You see, I need a pickle. I don't need a sweet pickle. Sweet pickles are for books and, advertisements on TV. Yeah, don't give me a sweet pickle. Just to be clear, for me, Scoots, I'll have a pickle as long as it's not a sweet pickle. I'm looking for a dill or a sour pickle. And Lottie's also working on cheeseburger buns. So though hers are going to look a little bit more like cheeseburger buns, hers are going to be steamed in the thing, sun-dried tomato and gherkin relish. Whoa, I didn't even notice that the first watch. And she's making chips just to make them, even though she can't include them in their food. Paul wants one without a gherkin. Lottie's like, maybe I'll do it. I don't know. I wish I liked that move. And she goes, okay, I get it. No gherkin, fine. A lot of gherkin talk. So then we go back, everybody's still working on their ingredients. You got to be careful, like with moisture, they say. So, it's tough to keep it dry and wet and keep the bun. I mean, this is where it gets complicated. It's going to get steamed on top of it. I've never steamed a bun before. I've bought frozen steamed buns, but, okay, Armin's putting some oyster sauce in right now. She's doing some Japanese flavors. She's working on chicken. Her buns are going to look like pandas. Spiced chicken, shiitake mushrooms, chili, fresh chili. So they go to her. You've been very consistent, huh? And she goes, thanks for the vote of confidence. And they say, yeah, well. She goes, it's been a learning journey, but she goes, yeah, I like to do French and Japanese and French influence the cooking, so, I have a good knowledge of pâtissier, so, which I had to look up last week. Okay, so they say good luck. She goes, yeah, I'm the most consistent. Isn't that lovely? But Paul complimented me. Hopefully, I better get back to work. Okay, then we're no soggy buns. We're halfway through umami pandas. For her proven doughs must be uniform. Some people are eyeballing it. Some people are weighing it. No relish for Paul. And you don't want your dough to split when you're moving on to the next phase. And everybody tries to start assembling their buns and their fillings. It's very challenging. So, yeah, I'm watching here. Very challenging? No, very challenging. Not very many berries in this one. And you got Mark versus Lottie, so that's like a little bit of a competition. But yeah, you don't want it spilling out of the dough. 2/3 filling? I don't know. How much? Is Paul going to like it? Yeah, if you put too much filling in, it's going to be disastrous. Who's that? Is that Peter? He had put too much in, so he said one of them does this the right amount. So maybe they'll just eat that one. Plump sheep is, you gotta keep them airtight for 15 minutes? How long you steam them for? Steamed chips? A lot of you making chips, you gonna steam them? No, I don't think so. Gotta be precise. She's actually making crisps. Aren't chips crisps and fries or chips and crisps or chips? She's doing steamed, and she's joking about that. She's not making steamed chips. Then everybody has to decorate their buns pre-steaming. So some people are steaming, some are not. Full steam ahead, somebody just said. And it's got, by the way, you can't open your steamer once you change the cooking time, right? It'll let all the air out. I've never used one of these traditional steamers before, these bamboo steamers. Now that I'm seeing them in action, I say, why haven't I? So let's see, Laura's steaming. Who's that? One of the Marks, I think, is steaming. Lottie's steaming. Noel's talking about it. Yeah, you won't know how good your buns came out because if you open it, it's no-go. 10 minutes left. Steaming's, Noel pretended it. Matt pretended he was Noel. They did a voice switcheroo. And everybody's just kind of sitting there letting their things steam. Everybody's using a different type of technique. Wok, pan, frying pan, whatever that's called, some other pan, not a pot, wok, pan, pot, however you wish. Noel starts interviewing Lottie. Cakes are boring, so I'd rather do something like this. She's working on her chips. Who's that? Peter, is that his name? He's checking his, Marks with a C are very big, puffed up. 1 minute left. Everybody's taking them out. And again, these edits, they, do it for excitement for the viewer. Now, Laura's did not come out very well. Hers kind of changed to like something in them changed. Or I guess like because of the dough, the filling's showing through. But a lot of them, like Dave's, look really good. Laura's look tasty. They just don't look fancy. Okay, so step away from your buns. Even the sheep. Oh, only one. Okay. Okay, so they go. They're puffed up. We start with Ermine. These eyes are a little bit bigger than we expected, or they should be bigger. Of her pandas, they look untidy, according to Paul or Prue. Prue loves it, though. Do need bigger eyes. That's what they say. Like, once they get into it, Prue loves it. Soft, chewy, delicious, full flavor, packs a punch. Paul's big on pointing out to everybody the doming and the stuff with the bread. But lovely, delicious filling. So, really goes well for Ermine. Shaping could be neater, but flavor's good. So they leave it there. Paul's hands in his pocket. They go to Mark with the K, burger buns. They go smooth top. Actually, some of the sesame fell off. Well, I put a P on yours. It doesn't have a gherkin. Paul loves sesame seeds. So Paul's got to have, whatever. They say, okay, nice filling in the middle. Bready look. Good flavor, but the burger's dry. It needed mayonnaise or ketchup, tomato ketchup, actually. Taste is good. Bun's good. Chewy, smooth top, baked all the way through. Simple but effective, but a little dry. We go to Laura's. They go, you got some issues with the dough, seepage, too much filling probably, irregular. You can see the arch. It's come through. Bread's bursting. Too much bread, I don't know, something like that. Smells fantastic. Tastes lovely. Bit dry. Tastes wonderful. Flavors wonderful, Bruce says. Meat's tough, though. Needs more sticky sauce. Very, very dry. Then we go to Mark with a C, doll, like bop, look lovely. They touched one another in the steamer because they're so big. Lost their shape a bit. Color and decoration look good. And they take a bite of that. Lentil doll, apple, okay. It's got a bit of a bite in the apple, which is unusual. Paprika works well, curry in the middle. Carrying the flavor. Only issues the size. But Bruce says, well, I like these size buns. Then Dave's up. I like the color, great. Like the marking. Okay, but the filling tried to push through, but it did a little bit maybe in some spots. Nice and shiny. You got the arch of flavor, as Paul says. Love the chicken. Texture's great. Bread's lovely. Bun. But need more filling or stronger curry. Yeah, you managed to get the flavor. The arch through, that's delicious, but it's not coming through enough. Then we go to Peter. They say, okay, creases, the air pockets, you had a little shrinkage, but they do look round, aromatic. Okay. It's tightened up around the meat, though, so what you're pulled away is very little dough. More meat than dough, Paul says. Too much filling. Tastes wonderful. Love the flavor. Flavors are great. Just watch the buns. Then the Lottie's up. It looks like a burger, but it's spot on but dry. No gherkins in yours, Paul. Decoration's nice. It's got everything in there. Steamed it in the bun. Better taste good. Prue says that she likes it, though. Having a dry burger, but nonetheless a burger. Flavor's spot on. Can't believe you cooked it right in there. It's so difficult. It's steaming, but you got you did it. Probably need a little bit more fat, Paul says in there. Maybe that would have made it more balanced. We go talking. Lottie's pleased. And she says the relish is why it wasn't dry. So Mark is chuffed. So he's like, but I've been in this position before. I want to keep this momentum up and push through next through challenges. Peter's like, man, I got bad feedback, but I better pull it back. Been relatively good, so hopefully I can continue. Get some outside shots. Go back to the gingham mystery. Shrouded in gingham. Only guess what awaits them. The old gingham mystery. I mean, what if the big gingham things were gone? That would be the mystery. Prue's the thing. Any word of advice? Read the recipe and do not worry. And it's going to be, the problem Prue won't be here, so they're going to leave the tent. And don't worry, they say. That's what, it's a matcha crepe cake. 12 matcha-filled crepes stacked on one another, layered with strawberries, white chocolate ganache, buttercream, and topped with fruit and edible flowers in 2 hours. And on your mark, get set, bake. They say, what? Never made crepes. What is a matcha crepe? I don't like, a lot of people don't like matcha. Okay, what could go wrong? The other people are like, I've made crepes before. So then we see it. It looks like a very fancy. Looks like something that would be more savory than sweet. Very thin layers, very thin strawberries. But you get the matcha with the strawberries, and it kind of, the sweetness and the bitterness cut each other. So how do you think this is going to work? Well, consistency is going to be tough. Yeah, you got to make thin crepes, and you only have enough to make 11 or 12, and then you got to make sure it gets set. So I said, man, I could eat this all day. Okay. Okay, so batter, milk, you get some stuff cooking, put in some eggs, put in some butter, don't overcook it. Then, yeah, a lot of people are like, man, I'm not sure about this matcha. It's too grassy. Do you reckon? Too green and not appetizing. Look, Ermine says, yeah, I like to drink it, but no, I don't know if about baking with it, but, I'll do my best or whatever. I don't think this is actually baking. Then you got to make the buttercream, Swiss meringue, hot sugar. What do you mean? What does that mean? Hot sugar? I don't know. Heat up your eggs and sugar on a bain-marie until it all dissolves, and then you froth it up, Peter says. And are you looking for a particular temperature? 34.6? No idea. Lottie says. Mark with the case got peaks. Whisking the butter till it's light and fluffy. And some people are doing it by hand. Other people are using the machine. Laura has to start her butter like with a new batch of butter. Okay, is it light and fluffy? Add the chocolate ganache, add in the meringue. Or those might be the same thing. I have no idea. You got to keep the air in. So do you whisk it or do you fold it? That's what people are trying to figure out. How thin you going to cut your strawberries? Mark, yours are too thick, man. He's like, well, yeah, it's hard. And him and Lottie are giving each other a hard time. It's windy outside, then it's sunny outside. Halfway through. And Matt has cupcakes, but Noel does not want one. It's about precision. So these crepes are like super thin on some sort of crepe pan. And this kind of set, Noel seems to be like encouraging bad behavior here because he keeps telling people to flip their crepes on their own. Like a pancake in an American movie. And I don't know if the contestants really need that kind of thing. He says, hey, let me flip it. Are you going to use it? First he does it to Laura. And it seems really difficult, especially on the first crepe, because each crepe's got to get smaller. Or I don't know, some of them are smaller, some of them are bigger. Do you need to flip it? I don't think you do, actually. Peter's falls apart because it's supposed to look like a little bit like a green tortilla when it comes off. Like a large pancake. Well, it's got to be thinner than that. So, yeah, everybody's like, man, this is tough. Am I going to have enough mix left is the question. That is the question. And Noel's trying to get people to flip it. And if you flip it by hand, it depends on how strong your construction is. Who's that? Peter? What's Dave and Peter, right? I get those two. Then you got to use one. You make one big one and then 11 24-centimeter ones. And you only have enough stuff to do it. So, boy, am I going to have enough layers? I don't know. Mark's counting his layers. He has 6 right now. And everybody's going to be close. Noel's trying to get Dave to flip one. He's thinking about it. Man, focus on your cooking, man. Hit the road, Jack. Mark's trying to stretch his out. Both Marks. Dave does do a one-handed flip. So Noel says you should win. Mark's got up to 7 or 8, but I don't think he's going to get 12. Laura's not going to have enough either. Breeze is picking up a half hour left. Then you got to cut baking paper by 50 by 10. To make like your crepe carrier. Then you start spreading on the filling. You start to layer it, right? Fillings and layers. And everybody's like, well, I don't understand how thick to do it and all that. Then strawberries, then frosting, and then crepes, then frosting. And last crepe, then use your crepe carrier to scoop it up and put it in a bowl. And it looks very spinach tortilla like. Then you got to put it in the fridge, or I don't know when you take your paper out, or freezer. It looks like people are putting it in the freezer. Mark with a K is having a real tough time. And then we see the outside looks good. 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left. So you got to take the cake out. Then you start to decorate it. You got to put flowers and stuff on there, according to Prue's instructions. Some people's are leaking out the side. Other people's look self-contained. Let's see. And then you put more matcha powder on the top. Crescent shape. Crescent of fruits. And is that like a half a crescent moon? Yeah, that's what it is. You sure? I don't know. 1 minute left. There's more decorating. I don't know. Dave says, got all 4 seasons, I guess. And everybody's doing their final touches with the edible flowers, cleaning their thing. And the time is up. Looks like a crepe cake. A game set matcha, Peter says. Okay, so then we start the judging here. 1 minute. Okay, so start with Mark. No. Enfolder. Too thick strawberries. Flavor's not bad. That's Mark with a K. Semicircle looks okay. Oh, not perfectly enfolded. Yeah, it looks kind of like a cream cheese type of, like, it's something you'd have at brunch that's savory for sure. I mean, maybe you could do a savory version of it. He says, yeah, yours flavor's not bad. Then Dave's up. Looks okay. Very nice. But not a semicircle on the top. So ganache looks okay. Strawberries are thin. Okay, white chocolate flavor, just not well decorated. Then are mean, full circle. It's a bit of mess, but layers are nice and neat. Inside better than the outside. Light ganache. Lottie's a bit neater. Too much coconut on top. Supposed to feature the matcha. Cuts well. Pretty neat on the inside. Tastes good. Ganache is delicious. Silky smooth. Then Peter, quite like this one. This is what it should look like. Let's have a look inside. Very nice. Good flavor ganache. I like it. Very good. Then Laura. This is a little small, thin. Let's take a look inside. Not very many layers. Not very thick. A bit chewy, too. And then the last one's Mark with a C. Bit mess, bit mottled. Not too many layers, very thick. Not a lot, too much filling because not enough pancakes. Then we go to 7, Laura. 6, Mark with a C. 5, Mark with a K. 4, Ermine. 3, Dave. 2, Lottie, and 1, Peter. And they kind of run through, you know, come on, you gotta cut your strawberries thinner and have enough layers. And it's got to look nice. This will eliminate me on all counts. So, yeah, it's a good thing I'm not on the show. All right, then it's time for the showstopper, right? First we do talking heads. So chuffed is said multiple times. For this episode, it's a lot of chuffing. Oh, they're still talking about Peter's thing. Great job, dude. He's like, okay, I was at the bottom of the pile this morning. I needed a strong performance. I'm absolutely chuffed. I think I'll slip better tonight. Mark with the K is disappointed. It's tight margins, minuscule. Laura's like, I didn't want to come in last, but I have no love for matcha. So like it's like a swamp. And we see some sheep outside, sun setting or rising. And everybody goes back to the tent. Some have coats, some do not. And we walk in, then we go tabletop. Paul, you were just in Japan. How do you find our competition going? He goes, I'm surprised how good it is so far. It's quite difficult to do the steam buns and the crepe. Most achieved it. So let's see what the Showstopper brings, right? Lottie and Dave are doing well. They're in line for Star Baker. At the bottom is Laura. Struggled in the technical and the signature. Hermine's in the middle, Mark L. That's Mark with a K. And he goes, as a judge, you gotta take your flavor opinions on flavors like gherkins and put them aside. He doesn't say that, but they say, yeah, what about them? Do you not like gherkins or matcha or green food? And Noel says, I just like looking at this stuff. They all have a laugh. Then we go back to the tent. And they say, okay, morning bakers, welcome back for the Showstopper. Judges want you to make a kawaii cake. Remember kawaii from style rooted in Japanese culture? That means all things cute and charming, according to Noel. Cute and charming like me and Matt. He says, I thought we were like little and off and, okay, so sponge and stuff should be, take your inspiration from Japan, 4 hours. On your mark, get set, bake. So then people are starting to make their eggs. Kawaii means cute. Different people are going in different directions with it. Paul says, think animation, think cartoon. Chiffon or angel cakes. It's got to be light. Prue would like Japanese flavors. Uzu, matcha, sake. Colorful, vibrant, neat is what Paul wants. Sharp, professional. Look cute, taste good. So Mark with the K's up first tells us he's making an avocado cake. 2 avocado halves that look like a kawaii-style emojis with, smiles or something. So it sounds cute. And marshmallow fondant, ruby biscuits, and even a little surprise, tempered milk chocolate. So a lot of treats there. And they say, oh, wow, interesting. Okay, you're really ready, Mark. And they'll have a laugh. And you got to do this cake. Mark with the C's doing soybean. Got to have a balance of flavors. Dave's using matcha and rose water. Matcha's earthy, floral flavor to complement it. He's doing his dog, which is a Shiba. Vanilla buttercream, apple jam. His dog, yeah, he has a Japanese dog, Shiba Inu, Yoki, for Yokohama, the city in Japan. And Dave's not the only one with a canine companion or alliteration. Mark with the C's doing Hamish, his border terrier, who's cheeky. So he's doing it like his dog, which his is really cute. Lemon Swiss meringue, buttercream, 2 sponges, ginger tahini, ginger and soybean. Is it going to look like a dog? They ask him. He says, yeah, it's going to look like a dog. It's going to have fondant, though? What if it concerts something, the cake? That's one of Paul's focus is this judging round. Like leakage into the cake or cake compression. All right, so cake Castella. Fairly robust cake, like a kitchen sponge. You don't want your cake to buckle under the weight of decoration. So, yeah, so that's like the pressure's on there, too. Lottie's doing a jiggle cake, cotton jiggle cake. in a toadstool. Jiggle is a souffle. Got to jiggle it to see if it's cooked. It could be top heavy if it's a toadstool. Yeah, I'm going for it, though. And it will have a face, so it's a cute red toadstool. Fudge pebbles, black cherries, whiskey fudge, pulled sugar, candy floss, biscuit bamboo. So you got a lot going on. That's ambitious, Lottie, Bruce says. Okay. Careful. Hermine, a little closer to home, her inspiration. When she worked in Slaw, there was a lovely Japanese garden there where you could go in and have lunch and walking around. It inspired me. Peaceful, calming. So Hermine's hoping the simplicity of her vanilla sponge with fresh strawberries, Genoese, marshmallow fondant tree, tranquil Japanese garden, cherry blossom. Going to be some modeling chocolate for the tree and the blossoms, and then someone with a flowing gown. Might look good, but it better taste good, Paul says. So then everybody's putting their stuff in the oven. Some people are using a water bath, warm bath. Who doesn't prefer a warm bath? Sponges in the oven. Now you got to make your fillings. Uzu curd, lime and uzu curd. Japanese lime is a bit more tangy. Japanese whiskey somebody's putting in. Lottie. Peter's using pears for the filling. Poached pears. He's doing Dizzy the Shuttlecock. Really cute, he says. Anthropomorphic shuttlecock. Like, because him and his brother play badminton. And so that's a cute one, too. He's going to have Castella sponge, chopped poached pears, bunch of different color layers. Noel says, do you think you could teach my daughter, Dolly, to play badminton? Too young. She's 2. We had a wee boy who was 3, though. And then they talk about geese and shuttlecocks and all that stuff. Fun facts. Talking about flying birds and stuff. And I was like, well, what's going on with you, man? You're like a sleep podcaster today. And you got fun facts and everything. He goes, I love it. And we have Laura, kind of pressure's on. It's a big one for Laura. So doing a pineapple, an upside down pineapple cake. This is brilliant. But the pineapple is what's going to be upside down. Kauai pineapple. I feel like this is one of the ones that actually gets the Kauai style. Swiss meringue buttercream, poached pineapple, chiffon. It's upside down, standing on its head. She goes, yeah, I got to do it or I'm going to go home. So she goes, I need the positivity. So, yeah, okay. We're halfway through. Yeah, like a pineapple handstand. Matt's positive for her. Paul's watching her, though, like a hawk. She goes, hello, Paul. Thanks for staring at me. Get some more alliteration, decorative details. 1 hour left. Stacking and decorating layers. Bang on. As everybody's trying to put everything together. There's fondant issues. Laura and Dave, they're having the fondant issues. Dave on Mark on Loving Breath on Tears at Fondant. We gotta wait till this catches up. Keep going, not bad. So there's definitely, Laura's, Noel's like, somebody's helping Laura, just be like, keep going, you can do this. Because her fondant's having a hard time. Because everybody's bringing their stuff out of the stuff, stacking their cakes as fast as they can. Got to put your buttercream on there. 8 layers per avocado. How ambitious have we been? Can we get this completed? There's 10 minutes left. Spirals. The jiggly cake, it seems like... Lottie's is coming together, though. Bang. Oh, she's the one that says bang on. What's his name? Peter has to shape his like a shuttlecock. Laura hates fondant. Trying to take a break. I mean, it's tearing, but I don't know. I think it's fixable. Because the fondant's basically like a dough that you got to put over the cake. And Mark with a C, his goes on smooth. Dave's goes on pretty smooth, but Skill McGill, Matt says. Laura's like, yeah, fragile fondant, but hers seems to go on. I mean, there's a couple tears, but I think they're fixable. I mean, if I had to do it. And like, so she gets upset. And that's when Noel's like, don't worry, like, just follow through, get this done. Let's get this done. And he's like, honestly, it looks good. Honestly, you can do it. You can do it. And Mark's working on his avocado. His cake's a little bit green. There's 10 minutes left. And everybody's hurrying, like decorating the faces and making the shapes and trying to get the final touches on there. And putting chocolates or whatever you can to make it all very decorative. And what's his name's pretty pleased with himself, Peter. But other people are like really, Laura can't remember what hers is supposed to look like. But, and Hamish looks good. And there's 1 minute left. So everybody's trying to get theirs to come together, and the time is up. I say, okay, well, that'll do it. Step away from your showstoppers. And everybody's like, holy cow, that was intense. And we go outside the tent. We see the break area. And we see all their cakes, 7 Kauai cakes, and we see all of them. Peter goes first. His even has sparklers as an effect. He's got a story about Dizzy the shuttlecock. We bump. They say it's lovely, funny, cute, a bit wild. Let's take a look on the inside, though. Oh, wow, look at those layers. Never had a cake with that texture before. Delicious, chewy, but that's the style. Needs more punch, though, because the sponge is in your mouth for so long. But right taste of flavors. Then Dave's up. And they say, okay, I like the theme of it. It's got the feel. The creases are a bit of a letdown. You want to see it a little bit smoother, but you got good layers. They're all straight. No shrink, no crushing. Those are big cakes. They take a bite. Improved surprise. I wouldn't have thought rosewater and matcha are a combination, but they are. Beautiful buttercream, apple. This impresses me, Paul says. Baked really well. Done a decent job. Then Lottie's up, and they take a look at hers. It does jiggle. Okay. Well, technically jiggles. Love the concept. I just thought the head would be more, it's delicate, though. And it's stunning, the taste. Really good. Sponge is amazing. Perfect texture. The candy floss is really good. Even Matt likes it. Paul says, I haven't had something like this since it's cherry drop candy floss, which is cotton candy. But Paul says, I haven't had a cake like that since I was in Japan. Hermine goes next. They say it's charming cake, but it's not cute. So I don't know about it as far as the assignment. Maybe some more colors. Fondant's a little bit thick and the buttercream's thick, but the flavors are great. You make a lovely Genoese sponge. You're a very good French baker, but not a Japanese enough. Then we have Mark with a C and Hamish the dog. Fantastic job. Looks amazing. Quite the character. You could see this in a bakery. And like the look of the inside. There is a bit of concertina crush. Top's light. Beautiful. Okay, tahini strong. That's a surprise, but nice. Prue likes it. Ginger and lemon work well together. Nice two top flavors. Thank you, Mark. Then we have Laura. Hers looks really cute, in my opinion. It's the cutest one. I mean, Hamish is pretty cute. And the shuttlecock is a very character, a bit more like, I mean, it's the most quiet of the cakes, I believe. Okay, a little bit of a smushing because of the weight of the fondant, pushed down everything on the bottom, but tastes amazing. Delicious, happy cake, citrusy, pineapple's there, strong. Sponges are light. Even the one on the bottom tastes good. Flavor's very good, well done. Then we go to Mark Avo, the avocados. Looks a little bit cute but scruffy. And witty. Now it's just got to taste good. Neat and accurate layering, but it's a bit tight, the sponge. Got yuzu in there? Yeah. Okay, get that, but there's no other flavor, and it's dry. It should have been oil from the avocado in there. It should be silky smooth. That's too bad. Mark says, try the cake at the bottom. And then they say, no. He thought it was going to be better. They're like, yeah, it might be worse. They even say it might be inedible, which is not very nice. Only your biscuit is good. That's only 1% of your cake. So then they go to Talking Heads. He's like, that did not go well. If they use the word inedible, it's week 6, you know. Lottie's chuffed, more chuffing, you know. Cotton jiggle. Okay. Lottie says, I'll take it. Laura's like, I was worried, but, I did good on this one. So at least I did what I could, control. Okay, then we see the breeze, and then we go to the talking. This is the first week Matt says I've been here, that every showstopper was great to look at. And yeah, Marky, he's in line to be Star Baker. Dave did pretty good. Lottie did good. Her sponge was incredible. Paul says in 11 series, I never tasted a sponge like that. Mark L is a disappointment, though. He got the Kauai part, but the cake wasn't good. And Laura, she did well. She dropped an ace with that last cake. And it's the first time we've seen her do that. So we got to look at all three overall, Mark K, Laura, and Hermine's not doing great either today. Or this week. This is Paul's 100th episode. And they say, how about some bubbly? And he goes, more than a glass. A bath of bubbly, Noel says, for you. And then we head out. We got a lot of frowning. Lauren, Mark, L, or Mark with a K, are frowning. Paul's hands are in his pockets. This was a joy. Japanese week was a joy. Showstoppers were fantastic. Noel gets to do Star Baker. And he says that person is, he doesn't say, though. He just pauses for a while. Lottie. She shakes her head, kind of humble, But you can tell she's happy. Then Matt means that means I got to give you the great news. This is somebody who always has a smile. Somebody I bonded with, Matt says, and I adore. We're all going to miss. And that baker who's headed out is, they pause again. But kind of knew, this one you kind of know who's going home. I felt like Mark L, just because the Lord is so good. So they give her hugs around. There's some tears. Well, when you know, you know. He goes, I thought it was my time. They're happy tears as well, though. Made it to week 6 of Bake Off. He should be proud. He's very charming, too. Made a bunch of friends and baked new things. It was a great experience. Brilliant start to finish it has been. So, yeah, even though he's got tears, he did good. Bruce says it's, and then what Bruce says, yes, so sorry for Mark. Thought Laura was going to go, but she did a great showstopper. So one bad cake, that's it. Changed everything. Matt even says, Laura, I thought you were gone. Laura was like, yeah, I thought, should I pack? Should I take the M25, the M2, or the A4 home? What a relief. And Lottie's like, final 6, I can't believe it. Game on. None of us thought we'd make it this far. Whole new ball game. So we got a lot to do in the practice tent, all of us. And the episode comes to a close, so I'll say goodnight, Bakers. Sleep well. Ready, set, good night from Scooter to all of you. Good night. Everybody, this is Scoots with a tuck you in message. So if you're still hearing me and listening to me, I hope this show is a part of your life and it brings you comfort even when it can't help you fall asleep. Or maybe most nights it keeps you company, helps you fall asleep, distracts you, your boyfriend, you know. And if the show does make your life better, makes your life a little bit easier, even in the depths of the night, like right now when we're just hanging out and plenty of episodes ready to go. I hope you'll consider supporting the show back. You know, Sleep With Me Plus is how we're able to be here night after night after night, and the listeners who support the show at any level for any amount of time, the show is a regular part of your life. And you could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. And if you're chilling with me now today, why not try it out right now? You could try a 7-day trial, get all the bonus content set up tomorrow, see what you think, take 5-6 days. If it isn't the best way you've listened to the show, you know, there's like an entire podcast full of ad-free full episodes. There's an entire podcast full of story-only episodes. Those also don't have ads. And then there's a bonus podcast full of really, really cool stuff. And if you're a boyfriend or a boy best, you also get a podcast full of all-night episodes and all intro episodes. So please think about it. If you say, no, I can't support the show right now, I could still use your vote yes to keep making the show. Because just moving on from this message, if you're listening to me and you're saying, no, I'm not going to do anything, that's a no for me to keep making the show. And that's just a reality. The show is at a point right now where without the support of the listeners, we can't keep going. So if you can't support the show financially, you have 2 options. If you still want to be a part of something, you want access to ad-free episodes, you want the show to be here next year, the year after that, join the referral program at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. And refer people to the free podcast. You'll get rewarded for it. Their lives will be better because you'll be helping them out. And it'll be a huge, huge boost to the show. It's way better to support the show through the referral program than telling me, yeah, one day Scoots will support the podcast financially, but now right now it just doesn't work. I'd rather you support the show right now through the referral program so we can keep making the show. So please consider that. Or just decide you're not going to support the show and fill out the form. You say, no, I'm not. I want you to keep making the show. Yes. I am a super listener. Yes. But I don't want to support the show financially. And I don't want to do any, like, help out via the referral program. I don't want to help out, but I do want you to keep making it. And I have a good reason for it. You probably have a good reason for it. Fill out the form at sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. Because if we get 1,500 people in the referral program and then 1,500 people or something that say, nah, I want you to keep making it, but I'm not going to support it. It says to me that I should find a way to keep making this free podcast, even if it's going to be tough, because there's people willing to spread the word about the show. And there's people who are willing to say, yes, keep making it. I'm not going to support it, but keep making it. It's important enough for me. It's important enough to me that I took the time to make a choice and say, no, I'm not going to support it, which is 1,000 times more powerful than just tuning me out or ignoring me, or saying, yeah, I'll help the podcast one day, or I'll say no one day. That day may never, Sleep With Me might not make it to that day without one of those 3 actions. If you take one of those 3 actions, you could have full confidence. And not only are you a super listener, but you're a super listener that's invested your time back into the podcast and makes your life better. Thanks. And now we got the audio news, which we haven't done in a while. So this is what we got coming out on Sleep With Me Plus. A lot of this stuff will be coming out in the ad-supported feed as well. 1357 was a balcony brick building episode as part of the Orlando Park Stop fundraiser for the Trevor Project. Then we had Ray covering Horizons, the extinct Epcot attraction. That was also in as part of the Orlando Park Stop fundraiser. Let's see. We had a repeat of a classic episode, Hamlet with Brainbots. That's a really good one. Where I got out of the house. Great British Bake Off 6, Japanese Week. Then Bernie returns to the show after a long absence, even for a recording he never showed up to. And he does his reinterpretation of the story I told. So you could either sleep through it or wonder what Bernie's version is. That's Cat on Yarn. Then a classic TNG episode, Fistful of Datas, or Datas, you know. Then Bessos 11, Big Farm in the Sky, Bessos 11. Then something 2. I can't read my handwriting. Friend 2? No. Fox 2? Huh, interesting. An episode. Oh, Frankie and Victor, part 2. Then Jenny, the new username generator. One of my favorite episodes I've ever done. And then a 4th of July all-intro episode. That's what we got coming up. But we're also deep into subscriber summer. So if you listen at Sleep With Me Plus, if you're a Sleep With Me Plus subscriber and you're listening to this, one, if you ever need any help at all, just send an email to our support team, support@supercast.com. But also all those episodes are going to be in the ad-free full episode feed and the story-only feed. So all those will be coming out. What else we got? So if you're a Boar friend or a Boar bestie, you have the all intro all night feed. There's an all intro that comes out on June 5th, June 12th, the all night Boredom Institute episode. And they're called all nights, but they're around 4 hours long just because of the file sizes. We can't make them any longer than that. And then an all intro episode comes out after that. And then in the bonus feed, subscriber summer is in effect. So in the bonus feed, we got Posty 189 came out June 11th. Oh, no, not June 11th. June 11th, first subscriber summer episode, I think, comes out. Archie McPhee catalog. I think I read through 3 different Archie McPhee catalogs. Then Posty 190. Then Ray on a balcony in Anaheim. Holy cow, I can't wait for that. Right, Ray? And then either Frank episode 12 or episode 14, depending on which level you support the show at. So a lot of great stuff. If you support the show on Sleep With Me Plus and you're hearing this, thank you so much. Could not do it without you. Remember, you could always get a hold of support@supercast.com. Make sure you are either on our Discord or subscribe to the Sleep With Me Plus newsletter. You've gotten we've been sending out emails about it. And you can always reach out to me anytime through the contact form on our website. Anybody can. Can't do without all of you. I'm happy to be here to put you to sleep. And thanks so much for listening, and good night.